Good morning. I first heard about Jonathan Lorenzen my very first year here at PCDS when I taught his sister Catherine in my 8th grade U.S. history class. One day she said, "Wait till you get my brother Johnny." Now I hear this a lot from siblings. Sometimes it's, "Wait until you get my brother Johnny," or sometimes it's, "Wait until you get my brother Johnny." I'm sure Catherine meant it the latter way, John. Just as students hear about teachers before they have them, teachers hear about students too. And I had heard that Jonathan was very bright, but could sometimes be a handful in class, depending on who he was sitting near. That turned out to be true for almost all the 8th grade boys that year. Johnny is smart, nice, laid back. He hasn't really been nervous about this speech until today. I've been nervous since he asked me about it in the fall. But he can get fired up about things, especially on the lacrosse field. He turns into a very aggressive person who is a lot of fun to watch, especially if he's playing against his friend Hunter. One of my favorite memories of him is when he and Harrison Ward tried out for the middle school talent show when they were in 8th grade. I think they decided to try out at the last minute because they played the guitar and sang. At least I think it was singing, but I didn't recognize the song, and there must have been some inappropriate words in it because every once in a while they would bark. I wish you could have seen the faces of the 5th, 6th, and 7th graders as they were watching this, and on the 8th graders in my who were laughing so hard that I was actually crying. Needless to say, they didn't make the talent show with their act, but they were chosen to be the MCs, and they did a fantastic job. So without further ado, here's Johnny.
The geopolitical landscape of today's presidential campaigns revolves around intricate relationships between the national economy, image stigmatisms, and ideologies of the candidates. I don't know what I just said, but I feel smart from having said it. Truth is, I find politics boring, so I'm not going to talk about them. My opening sentence was a random, made-up fact. Telling stories that send me off on tangents characterize who I am. When I was a kid, I could go on rambling for hours about nothing. I'm honest in most of my past accounts, but I do feel adding some spice to history never hurt anyone. The constant thoughts floating through my mind, like logs on the way to the sawmill, drive my writing ability and the enjoyment that comes along with it. Voltaire, the famed French philosopher, once said, "The best way to become boring is to say everything." So I'm going to say a whole bunch of nothing. There was no way I could have written a speech on one topic that would have been able to hold your interest, let alone my own, so I didn't. Hi, my name is Jonathan. I am a recovering addict. The inability to escape the need for a good burn or a tight squeeze plagued me daily. Instead of using my money to buy Chipotle burritos or my own clothes, man, thanks, I spent it on my addiction. I'm getting huge now for 3 long years, but I finally realized there's more to life than being a meathead. But it's hard to quit. The gym was my home, my comfort zone, my dojo. It was my Vegas, my temple, my Rio. I apologize. As I said, I tend to ramble. But the gym, it was my gym. Curls and extensions, deadlifts, these are the terms that used to make up my vocabulary. On one of Dr. Allison's vocab quizzes, I spelled duplicity, B-I-C-E-P. I even figured that if I got big enough, even physics wouldn't slow me down. I'd slow physics down. But the gym was just a gateway that led me to other forms of physical abuse. Working out led to lacrosse, a sport that allows me to crack other players' knees and elbows with my metal stick while still being able to receive a retaliation check across my throat. I'd be lying, however, if I told you that lacrosse is the most physical activity I have participated in. No, I decided that boxing would be the best way to become a man in a world where there doesn't seem to be many left. I joined the NBBL, the National Backyard Brawl League. If you haven't heard of it, don't worry, it's official, you can Google it. After several minutes of intense training, I went up against the man whom I can thank for reshaping my nose. A big 180-pound public school brute. The bout lasted 4 rounds, ending with the thud of my face against the ground. It would have lasted longer, but I didn't know not being able to stand meant you lost. My current record, still 0-1. Lesson learned, boxing freaking hurts. Thank goodness my friends were there to pull me out of my world of contact sports and power bars. My good friend Hunter realized I needed help one day when we were eating at Einstein's Bagels, and Jessica Simpson, Alba, and some dude she was with walked in. "Oh, dude, it's Jessica Alba. She is so hot," my friend exclaimed. Now I completely agree, but the height of my huge addiction, I could only reply, "Yeah, hey, how much do you think that dude she's with can bench?" Oh, God, it was bad. I needed help.